tennis fans, I'm Grace Carter, and this is your Tennis Now News Update. You know, winning never goes out of style. Just ask Serena Williams, who's making a bold statement this week on the cover of New York Magazine's fashion issue. And I gotta tell you, I love this cover photo. In the magazine, Serena shows us a bit of her elegant side, but this woman is an athlete, showing off her amazing strength and flexibility and insane six-pack abs. The world number one is looking fit and focused as she aims to complete the calendar Grand Slam at the U.S. Open coming up later this month. Serena reveals a secret. She says refusing to dwell on her past achievements helps her out, and she doesn't decorate her home with all her Grand Slam trophies. She says she has a lot of trophies. Well, we know that part, don't we? She doesn't have to see them all, though. She says she has some in her house here, some in her house there, some she doesn't even know what happened to them. Well, we'll be watching to see if she adds another to that stockpile. Three-time Rogers Cup singles champion Rafa Nadal made his Canadian return in doubles on Monday, partnering with his friend Fernando Verdasco to win in Montreal over Jack Sock and Tomas Berdych. Okay, we have noticed quite a bit of coupling up in Canada. Newlyweds Tomas Berdych and his wife Esther are in Canada for the first tournament for him since their wedding. Berdych warmed up for Montreal, sweating it out in a new ad for his apparel sponsor, H&M. Novak Djokovic returned to tournament action, partnering with his pal, Serbian Davis Cup teammate Janko Tipsarevic to a straight sets doubles win. Well, young guns Jack Sock and Nick Kyrgios joined forces as practice partners. And if by some chance you missed it, you got to check out Nick's new hairdo this week. Yep, it's a mohawk with purple highlights. But in spite of that wackiness, Nick says he's trying to address his mental game with a new addition to his team, Davis Cup teammate Lleyton Hewitt, who's going to mentor and coach Nick during the North American summer hardcourt season. And one very important insider thinks Lleyton's going to help Nick grow up a bit and fulfill his potential. That's Nick's mom. She tells the Sydney Morning Herald that her son wasn't in a good headspace after his recent Davis Cup defeat and the criticism that followed. Mom says Nick respects the former number one. She says he's going to listen to Lleyton because he knows what he's talking about. He's been at the top. What Nick doesn't like, she says, is when people who haven't been in that situation give him advice. But she says he'll listen to somebody like Lleyton. Okay, we'll see. So good luck to them both. Sometimes the great players can seem a little like magicians to those of us who are just human. You know, when they make that unmakeable shot or just their between the points moments. Well, here's Rafa. He seems to hypnotize the ball into a suspended state. Angelique Kerber celebrated her fourth title of the season in Stanford with some sleight of hand. Most of Monday's schedule of play in Toronto was washed out by rain. So, how did the players pass the time? Well, some of them talked to our friends at WTA Reactions.
Rain was so boring.
Boring. Boring.
Boring. Boring.
Rain sucks big time.
Coping with the elements on court is a necessary nuisance for the players. Aga Radwanska says one thing that drives her nuts is slackers.
I think also when I'm practicing and there's some people just going on the court so slow as well. I don't think the slow things just drive me crazy. And you know, like I'm practicing here, so just run, just a little faster. Or you want to just be kicked from the serve or wherever.
We're going to end with some good news for American Sloane Stephens, who captured her very first career WTA title in Washington, D.C. on Sunday without dropping a single set in the tournament. Good for Sloane. And she seems to have such a cute personality. Watch her crack up after her semifinal win when a journalist asks if she plans to choreograph a victory celebration like Maria Sharapova.
Celebrations, like Maria Sharapova, she always drops to her knees and then covers her eyes and pretends to cry after winning tournament.
That has to be probably the best question I've ever heard in an presser. But I don't have a rehearsed. Considering I've never been to a final, I wouldn't have anything rehearsed, but...
So, how did Sloane celebrate her first championship? With some heavy lifting, hoisting the hefty crystal title trophy. Way to go, Sloane. That's our news for now. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Grace Carter, and we'll see you next time here on Tennis Now.